Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that the small financial decisions you make today could determine whether you become wealthy or struggle for the rest of your life. That might sound dramatic, but according to one of the greatest investors in history, the habits you build in your 20s, 30s, and 40s will shape your financial destiny more than anything else. And that investor is Warren Buffett. Now think about this for a moment. The man who built a fortune worth tens of billions of dollars didn't start with some magical secret or a lucky lottery ticket. He started with knowledge, patience, and a mindset that most people ignore. And if you listen carefully to his advice, you'll notice something surprising. His strategy isn't complicated. In fact, it's incredibly simple. But the truth is, most people never follow it. So if you're in your 20s, 30s, or even your 40s right now, this message could completely change the way you think about money, success, and your future. Before we dive in, take a moment and comment the word wealth below if you believe your financial future can change starting today. When you comment, you're not just interacting with the video, you're making a commitment to yourself that you're ready to think differently about money. Now let's begin. When people hear the name Warren Buffett, they usually think of billions of dollars, stock market success, and one of the most powerful investors in the world. But what many people don't realize is that Buffett started studying money when he was just a kid. While other children were playing games, he was reading books about business and investing. By the time he was 11 years old, he had already bought his first stock. That moment may seem small, but it revealed something important about his mindset. He understood early that money grows when you give it time. That single idea, time, is one of the biggest lessons Buffett teaches. If you are in your 20s right now, you have something incredibly powerful that most people underestimate. You have time on your side. Warren Buffett once explained that the earlier you start investing, the more powerful compounding becomes. Compounding is the process where your money begins earning money, and then that money begins earning even more money. Imagine planting a small tree today. At first it looks tiny and insignificant, but if you give it years to grow, it becomes something massive. That's exactly how wealth works. But here is where most people make their first big mistake. When people enter their 20s, they often focus only on spending money rather than building wealth. They think investing can wait. They believe saving can start later. Buffett disagrees completely. According to him, your 20s should be about building habits that will make your future easier. Instead of chasing quick money, you should focus on learning skills, understanding investments, and developing discipline. Another powerful piece of advice Buffett gives to people in their 20s is to invest in yourself. He often says the best investment you can make is improving your own abilities. Your skills, knowledge, and mindset are assets that nobody can take away from you. Think about it. A person who constantly learns, reads, and develops valuable skills becomes more valuable in the marketplace. Buffett himself spends hours every single day reading. In fact, he once said he reads hundreds of pages daily because knowledge compounds just like money. So if you're in your 20s right now, ask yourself an important question. Are you investing in your future, or are you only living for today? Because the truth is, the habits you build in this decade will follow you for the rest of your life. Now let's talk about your 30s. Your 30s are a fascinating period of life. By this time, most people have started their careers. They might have families, responsibilities, and financial pressure. And this is exactly where many people start feeling trapped. Expenses increase, stress increases, and suddenly the dream of financial freedom feels far away. But Warren Buffett's advice during this stage is surprisingly calm and simple. He says that consistency beats intensity. What does that mean? It means you don't need to make risky moves or chase fast profits. Instead, you need to stay consistent with smart financial habits. For example, regularly investing money into strong long-term assets can create enormous wealth over time. Buffett has always believed in investing in businesses that are strong, reliable, and capable of growing for decades. One of his famous principles is to think like an owner, not just an investor. When Buffett buys a stock, he doesn't think about short-term trading. Instead, he thinks about owning a piece of a great company. This mindset changes everything. Instead of worrying about daily market fluctuations, you begin focusing on long-term growth. For people in their 30s, this mindset can be incredibly powerful. It helps remove emotional decisions from investing. Another lesson Buffett shares is avoiding unnecessary debt. Many people fall into the trap of buying things they cannot truly afford. Expensive cars, luxury lifestyles, and constant spending can quietly destroy your ability to build wealth. Buffett himself is famous for living a surprisingly simple life despite his enormous wealth. He has lived in the same house for decades and focuses far more on investments than on luxury. His lifestyle sends a powerful message. Wealth is not about showing money. It's about growing money. Now let's move to your 40s. Your 40s are often the moment when people begin reflecting deeply on their financial progress. Some people realize they have built strong savings and investments. Others suddenly feel behind. If you're in your 40s right now and feel worried about your financial future, here's something important to remember. Warren Buffett's biggest financial growth actually happened later in his life. Most of his wealth came after the age of 50. That means your financial story is far from finished. Buffett often emphasizes the importance of patience. Building wealth is not a sprint. It's a marathon that requires discipline, focus, and time. In your 40s, the focus shifts toward protecting and growing what you've built. This means making smarter investment decisions, avoiding emotional financial moves, and continuing to stay consistent with long-term strategies. Buffett also believes that understanding businesses is essential. He never invests in something he doesn't understand. That rule alone has saved him from countless bad investments. Think about how often people invest simply because something is trending. They follow hype instead of logic. Buffett does the opposite. He studies companies deeply and invests only when he understands their long-term potential. This principle can protect anyone's financial future. Another important idea Buffett shares is surrounding yourself with the right people. Your environment shapes your decisions. If you spend time with people who constantly make poor financial choices, it becomes easy to repeat those mistakes. But if you surround yourself with disciplined, thoughtful individuals, your mindset begins to change. Buffett himself chose mentors who challenged his thinking and helped him grow. And that leads to another powerful lesson. Your mindset about money matters more than the amount of money you currently have. Two people can earn the same income, yet one becomes wealthy while the other struggles financially. The difference is how they think about spending, saving, and investing. Buffett believes successful investors remain calm when others panic. When markets crash, many people run away in fear. But Buffett famously says that opportunities often appear during times of uncertainty. His strategy has always been simple. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. This mindset requires emotional discipline. It means not following the crowd blindly. Instead, you rely on logic, research, and patience. Now pause for a moment and think about your own financial habits. Are you making decisions based on fear, excitement, or careful thinking? Because your answer could reveal a lot about your future. If you've learned something valuable so far, comment "Smart Money" below. It helps the channel grow and allows more people to learn these powerful financial lessons. Let's continue. One of the most overlooked lessons from Warren Buffett is the power of simplicity. People often assume successful investors use complicated strategies or secret formulas. But Buffett repeatedly explains that successful investing is about understanding basic principles and following them consistently. Spend less than you earn. Invest regularly. Avoid unnecessary risk. Be patient. Those 4 ideas may sound simple, but they are incredibly powerful. Over decades, they can transform an ordinary income into extraordinary wealth. Another powerful lesson Buffett teaches is focusing on long-term thinking. In today's world, many people expect instant results. They want fast money, fast success, and fast growth. But real wealth rarely works that way. Buffett once explained that someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree many years ago. That quote perfectly captures his philosophy. Your future comfort depends on the decisions you make today. So whether you are in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, the most important step is starting now. Start learning. Start investing. Start thinking about the long term. Because time is one of the most powerful forces in finance. The earlier you begin, the stronger compounding becomes. And the longer you stay consistent, the more extraordinary your results can be. Now here is a question worth asking yourself tonight. If Warren Buffett were starting from zero today in your exact situation, what habits would he build? He would read constantly. He would invest consistently. He would avoid emotional financial decisions. And most importantly, he would think decades ahead instead of days ahead. Those habits are not reserved for billionaires. Anyone can begin developing them. Your financial future doesn't depend on luck. It depends on decisions. Small decisions repeated over years can create enormous results. And that's the message Warren Buffett has been teaching for decades. If this video gave you a new perspective on money and investing, take a moment to like the video. It helps more people discover these powerful lessons. Also subscribe to the channel for more insights about wealth, success, and the strategies used by some of the most successful people in the world. And before you go, comment one final thing below. Write, "My future is wealthy," if you believe your financial journey is just getting started. Because the truth is, the best time to build wealth was years ago. The second best time is today.